If we pull on the invisible thread, we can see tarot. Like all true things, it's tied to every aspect of our lives.
3, 2, 1.
From the music that we love to the movies we watch, and even the people we know.
Tarot is everywhere and everything.
Welcome to the Invisible Thread.
Two characters who could never be accused of toxic positivity, silent knowing, and taking leaps of faith are the King and Queen of Swords.
Their gifts lay in seeing it and saying it exactly like it is. Let's follow that thread and go hang out with them for a bit.
I was trying to do a brilliant segue into our show today.
I'm so sorry.
All that you want to do is talk about falling in love again. What the hell's going on with you, girl?
It's almost Valentine's Day. I'm in the mood. Besides Venus is in Pisces, it's like I'm on Neptune right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So I noticed in your show notes that you sent over, you wanted to discuss the planetary alignments with all this, with the King and Queen.
Well, interesting, we picked the King and Queen of Swords right now because we do have Aquarius Sun happening. And the King of Swords, strictly speaking, is Aquarius. The Queen is Libra.
You're going to have to... Yeah, George, you're going to have to enlighten me. Every time you talk to me, it goes right over my head when it comes to this.
Okay, so the Page of Swords is Gemini energy. We're talking about the air signs, right? Swords are air, and the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. In that order, Gemini in June, Libra in October, November, right? And Aquarius in February. So the later the sign falls, the further into the court cards it gets. So all of the kings are the last sign of that element. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of like autumn.
Yeah, exactly. You can do it seasonally because when is the King of Swords? Winter.
Well,
So he's the... Sorry?
No, I was going to say it in my notes. They're all autumns. King and Queen is an autumn for me.
Well, yeah, the page would be more springtime, but you're right about the King and Queen. The King is winter, really, but yeah.
The King is winter?
He is because that's Aquarius energy, which is in the dead of winter. All of the kings represent winter, like the later expression, right?
And it's interesting too because when you do see them, like with the rider, they do look like they're clothed for winter. It's kind of interesting.
It is, and that's because it is the most progressed expression of that sign or of that element of air.
And also the beautiful colors, blue and the iciness. Like in my Grand Lou, the King and Queen. One thing I like best about these cards too is they're different. They're not just all the same. They look totally different, you know? They're ethnic in a sense. It's like not just your typical deck. They just look like they're from across like just another world kind of thing. I love it. And the colors are amazing and it looks cold. It reminds me of yeah, I mean that throne was all swords.
So when you look at the King of Swords in your deck, do you factor all that in? The color and his clothes?
Absolutely. I factor in the coldness of it. I don't really sense warmth with my King and Queen, really. They're just to me it's frigid, it's cold, it's so for instance, my Queen of Swords, I just think she's the way in my notes, my personal notes, I think obviously she's independent as crazy. I mean, she's totally independent. She also is peacocky to me. I just sense this peacocky element. Like she's so smart. She says stuff just to be smart.
To play with words?
Yeah. To basically, you know, I don't know. It's a way of commanding respect by using words that might be above your head or using vocabulary that you just don't understand and stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand that. So it's like she falls upon her intellect to, I won't say narcissism, but in a sense. I always think that about the King and Queen of Swords. They think they're the smartest people in the room, no matter what room, no matter who's there. And it's like they use their mental games in order to kind of get entertainment that way in social settings.
Well, like for instance, the king and queen of wands, they're hot. They're
Yeah,
hot. So
yeah.
they don't have to talk as much. People just want to hang. But the way these people throw their hotness around is by their intellect and their vocabulary.
I need to digress for 1 second. Can I interject? Okay, go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you go. I want to hear it.
Can I interject something? It's interesting you brought up the king or the king and queen of wands because whenever I think about Aquarius energy, the king of swords, I automatically think about the opposite energy, which is Leo. That's the king of wands. And what I always say is where the opposition becomes the same between those two signs. Aquarius kind of leads by standing apart from the crowd and observing, and they have that mystique about them. Whereas Leo leads by standing above the crowd, being in it but celebrated, being in it but above it. So we have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they use their magnetism to rise above, and the King of Swords uses their discernment to stand apart.
Ooh. And you know what I sense though? They stand apart in judgment on others.
Well, that could be a low vibing aspect for sure. Yeah, for sure they do. But when
So
we're talking about a well developed King of Swords, they use their discernment to read the room.
and it seems to me like with them also, like you're at a party with them and people at their level would just gravitate to that level. So if they're low vibing swords, they would get the low vibe people. But if they're high vibing, great communication, great, just having a great conversation with somebody.
Hmm. A lot of political people have that placement in their chart Aquarius. And it's for that reason because it's the ability to have that neutrality and be able to communicate from a place of neutrality like that.
And my queen, I sense her as non-conforming too. I don't think she conforms too much.
Hmm.
She's still hot.
That kind of goes, but see, you find her hot, right? Why? It's that kind of remote energy, isn't it? So, like, if the Queen of Swords was at a party and you saw her across the room, what would she be doing?
I Okay, what would she be drinking? That's the question.
That's a good question.
So what would the Queen of Swords be drinking at a party?
Oh, I think she's kind of like, let me think here. She would be like probably vodka and soda, something clean,
I was
and
about to say martini.
but similar. Yeah, martini, sure. Traditional martini. That's the
Yeah,
Queen of Swords. Yeah,
that's exactly what I
clean and crisp and to the point.
is the Queen of Swords dirty?
Hmm. She definitely wants her martini dirty.
So the King of Swords, what does that guy drink?
What do you think? Scotch
Um,
neat?
okay, let me think here. To me, let's think. The King of Swords at a party. His old lady's having a has a dirty martini. I'm thinking honestly, he's having a dirty martini too.
Oh, you think so?
I have a gut feeling. Um, ah, I in cognac also wants to roll off my tongue.
I can see that. Although that might be more King of Pentacles. you know?
You're right about that. Yeah, any kind of yeah, that's okay. So you know what? I'm gonna also say a White Russian for my King of Swords.
Oh, I love that choice. That's a good choice. Yeah, I agree. But either way, they're both drinking vodka.
Yeah, they're drinking vodka. Okay, so people, your next readings, you can immediately go to vodka when you pull them.
The king and queen of swords.
Now let's give those two some privacy now that we have them where we want them. Locked together in a mental waltz and the finest cocktails. We'll check on them in the next episode. The path is inside you, and it's always just beginning.
We are forever grateful to share in the exploration with you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to Self Mastery, the practical art of tarot and astrology.